Is a drug that was developed to help with anesthesia. Over the years, it has been used for pain management or to treat depression because of its hallucinogenic effects, but it is often sold illegally and abused.
A company here in Southern California is one of a few prescribing ketamine for patients who suffer from PTSD and depression. And it's shipped in a box straight to your home. It's legal, but some medical experts say they're concerned.
CBS 8's Heather Myers talked to the co-founder of one of these companies and a local doctor who says this treatment is not for everyone.
These shots started firing off. Everybody else in the club is, screaming, like dropping to the floor.
29-year-old Megan Hawkins remembers that night. In August of 2014, she was inside the Sunset Boulevard nightclub to celebrate a friend's birthday when suddenly shots were fired.
There were people that had, fallen on the ground, and people were literally like stampede running over them to get out. I mean, it was just like, it was just absolute madness. Every person literally for themselves.
Once outside the club, Megan's friend noticed blood on her shorts. She was put into an ambulance and rushed to a hospital. Doctors realized she had been shot in the lower back and the bullet was lodged in her front hip. Megan, who at the time was an international fashion model, says she physically recovered very quickly and seemed to be doing okay mentally.
You've never been shot before. You didn't even realize it.
Then a month later, she was invited to appear on the show The Doctors, where they showed the audience animation of just how close the bullet was to hitting Megan's spine and her vital organs.
It wasn't until I saw this that my brain, oh my gosh, connected those dots. And all of a sudden, I'm like, holy crap, that is me, like this person's body. All of a sudden, it's like, everything just kind of started going downhill from there.
Megan says it started with vivid nightmares, then depression. She quit modeling and was prescribed several antidepressants.
I genuinely really don't remember very much from that entire period of my life, just because I was so drugged out on so many different things.
It took years, but Megan says she eventually tried ketamine therapy. It's a psychedelic treatment for severe depression, usually prescribed only when other therapies have failed. Ketamine was originally intended for use as an anesthetic and became abused on the streets, known as Special K. Megan says she had so much success with it that she co-founded a company called Better You. Under the care of a physician via telehealth, an approved patient can order a Better You ketamine box sent to their home. Video provided by the company shows Megan placing a ketamine lozenge in her mouth and putting on an eye mask.
Pretty much you're floating off into never ever land, and it's a different experience for everybody. It can be incredibly visual. You can have out-of-body experiences where sometimes you can feel like your body is literally like floating or moving. We've had some patients that have said they're like, I was flying through the universe, I met God. I've had a couple of those experiences myself, for sure. It's a very internal journey inward.
The thought is that at low doses, when you have a little bit of that, that could probably be tied to underlying neuroplasticity in the brain, which we think is connected with improvement in depression.
Dr. Corey Weissman is the medical director for interventional psychiatry at UC San Diego. He says the only FDA-approved form of ketamine for depression is the nasal spray. He says the lozenge form doesn't have adequate research and says there are risks.
If you have a history of past drug use problems, if you have a history of severe cardiovascular disease or liver disease, or a history of cystitis, bladder inflammation. These are all things that it would probably be best to avoid this kind of treatment.
Dr. Weissman is also concerned that a multi-dose box sent to people's homes doesn't have proper oversight.
It can be a drug of abuse. And so individuals could potentially be getting prescribed this mail-in ketamine and could use it for whatever they want, or they could sell it on the street.
Dr. Weissman says more studies need to be done to show that this form of ketamine is safe and that it actually works. Meanwhile, Megan says although a bullet nearly took her life, she claims this treatment saved her, giving her purpose and a mission.
I really was able to come full circle and discover that true purpose of why I was saved, why I'm here, and now all I can hope for is to, help another lost soul when they were at the place that I was at.